In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the Settings tab here on Squarespace and kind of explaining a lot of what goes under each of these tabs and what everything is. This is a really important part of the site. A lot goes into here, so get ready and let's dive in. So first I'll click on Settings over there in the left, and you'll see we have a handful of options and then even an advanced menu that goes into more options. So I'm just going to go through these one by one. Basically, we're going to start off with the basic information. And if you come to basic information, you can choose if your site is a business, e-commerce, nonprofit, personal. It's not a huge deal. Won't make too much of a difference in the functionality or anything on your site. You can set a short site description. Some themes will use this. Majority of themes do not use this site description. But I would recommend writing something in here either way, because this is also a helpful area for search engine optimization to put some kind of words in here. You can allow Squarespace promotion. They sometimes will promote websites that they think are really good, or they'll put them as one of those kind of example templates on their website. And then you can come down here to business information, hours, phone, email, all of that. So you can put in your phone number, email, address. You can set it up on a map, choose your business hours, and all of that. And again, a handful of the themes will actually pull this information and kind of plug it into the theme for you. So it's a really cool, handy feature to have. So not all of them do it, but it's probably worth just putting your information in there either way. So we're going to come back from basic information, and we're going to come back again to settings. Once we're back here in the settings menu, we're going to click here on language and region. And this is really so you can kind of set the region that you're in and the time zone, which is relevant especially if you're doing events on your website. Squarespace has kind of an event calendar built in. And if your time zone's set wrong, then all of your calendar events are going to show up improper for anyone that's coming to your website. So this is pretty simple. All you really do is figure out roughly on a map where you are or where your business is based. You're going to click, and that little blue dot's going to move there. And I was successful and perfectly clicked on Denver, which is where I am based out of. But sometimes if you're in the rough area, maybe I was trying to click on Phoenix or Boise. But yeah, just clicked on Denver. And there we go. We have just set the time zone, which is now proper. As you'll see, the time down here matches my time up there. And we have now set our time zone. And hit save. And I'm going to go back to settings, and we're going to go onward. So we're going to click next on domains. And this is where we're actually going to go and kind of work with our domains. Domain being website without code.squarespace.com. If I wanted to, I could click on this, and I could rename it to website without code 2, and I could change the site URL. I'm not going to really do that because I don't really need to right now, so I'm just going to cancel. But this is also where later on we're going to link domains, so whenever you're ready to launch your website live, and say you're trying to launch it at websitewithoutcode.com or jakejorgovan.com, you're trying to actually put it live on your domain name, this is where we're going to go to do that, and I'll explain that in more detail a bit later. Also, if you want, you can click on Get a Free Domain, and basically what happens if you choose to purchase an annual account and you buy a year of Squarespace, you get a free domain with your site. So again, very cool, very handy little feature there, worth looking into, and you can drop down here and get a .org, .net, .biz, or any of these cool things. So that's all we'll cover on domains right now. Again, I'll show you later how to actually launch your website live. Next, we're going to come down here to email. And this is something that's new in Squarespace 7 and a super interesting feature, one that we'll actually kind of dive into a little bit more once we get started. But you can actually hook up Squarespace to your Google Apps and email accounts. And this is really, really cool because it's honestly really difficult a lot of times to figure out how to launch your domain and then do that without messing up your email address. So if you have a Google Apps account, you can literally just connect it right there with your Squarespace account, and it does all the records, all the routing on the back end, so you don't have to worry about going in and messing with all those DNS settings and the MX records to make sure that your email doesn't go down whenever you launch your website. So if you're a Google Apps user, I highly recommend checking that out. And I'll show you that later on when I show you how to set up Google Apps. I'll do that on a different theme, but this is a demo account from Squarespace, so I can't show you guys here on this one. Next, we're going to come down here to permissions. And this is really permissions. It was once called, I think, accounts and contributors. But they've changed the name on this. And it's very helpful if, say, you want to add additional people to your website. So say I want to have one of my friends or a coworker or a writer work on the site with me. What I can do is either add a basic author, which is just basically going to give him the, it's actually not going to create an account, it's just going to create kind of a avatar so that when I blog I can say that this author is by, or this blog post is by, so and so. So you can create an avatar, you can put a picture with that, you can link it to their Google Plus right down here, and you can put in a full bio and their social accounts and everything right there. So again, very cool thing to just add a basic author, but this author really has no way of logging in. All they're really doing is so for an example, I guess a use case of how you'd use this author is say that you're running a blog website and someone submits you a guest post or something that they want to publish on your blog. Well, maybe you don't want to really give them logins to your site and have them try to figure out how to publish it on their own. And instead, you'd rather just take the Word document from them and publish it on your site. Well, what you would do is basically add them as an author, put their basic information and everything in here, and then that way when you put up that post, you can say the post was by whatever their name is, as opposed to having it look like it's being written by you. So it's a way to kind of publish work from other people without having to get them logged into your site and setting all that kind of stuff. Now, we're going to discard that. On the flip side, you have this contributor. So you have a basic author, which really doesn't do anything on the site. It's really just kind of a profile of a writer on your website. And then you have a contributor. So a contributor is someone that actually gets permissions to work on your site, and there's these different levels of permissions. So, for example, I could type in, John Doe right here, and johndoe@gmail.com. I hope that's not a real email address. It probably is, but yeah. And then basically, I could invite them and give them a handful of different kind of permissions and privileges on the website. So, if I give them an administrator, then they literally have complete control over the website. They can design, they can edit billing, they can do anything on the website. So an administrator is basically, you are an administrator by default when you set up an account, and an administrator would be someone else that has all those same privileges. So for example, whenever a lot of my clients hire me to do Squarespace design for them, they set me up as an administrator because I really need full access to edit everything on their site to be able to design and do everything there. So the next is a content editor. This person, basically, they can come in, they can edit content on the website, they can edit text, blog posts, any of that kind of stuff, but they can't change the design, they can't go into the settings, the billing, any of that stuff. So if you're maybe just hiring a copywriter for your site, this is a really good way to kind of give them just the copywriting privileges. The next is billing, and this is really simple, but say you're at a company and you need to give accounts payable, maybe they have to enter the billing information for this. You can set up just a billing profile on them, where literally the only options that they're going to have is just to come in, log in, and set up billing. So again, a very, very simple way to just kind of have someone log in and just set up their billing account. Reporting, again, just basically gives them access to the statistics. Comment moderator, this would be very simple again if you have a lot of blogs on your site and maybe you have a position or someone at the company just moderates comments. You can do that as well. You can set someone as a trusted commenter, and that way maybe, if you have it so that, again, I'll show you later on how to set your commenting settings, but you can have comment settings where basically no comment is published until you approve it, but you can set someone as a trusted commenter and say, oh, I know Jake, he always puts good comments on there, he's a trustworthy person, he's not going to spam me, and I can put him as a trusted commenter. And then the last profile is a store manager. Basically gives someone access to work with all the e-commerce, manage the customer orders, any of that kind of stuff, and also edit the content on the website. So these are the basic ways you can kind of invite someone to collaborate and contribute on your Squarespace site. So we're going to back out of here, and we're going to discard. So that's everything just on the Permissions tab, and now I'm going to jump back here to Settings. The next one, and a very important one, is Social. What you have here is a handful of different options for how you can manage your social media. The first thing that you're really going to want to do when you're kind of setting up your account and getting your page going is go down here to Social and click on Connected Accounts. And when you click on Connected Accounts, what you can actually do is come in here and you click Connect Account. And it's going to give you all of these different social media options for everything from Dribbble to Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Tumblr, YouTube, all these different integrations. And basically all you do is you just click on one. So for example, I'm going to click to link my Twitter profile. And if you're logged in already, then it's literally just going to come to the screen and ask to authorize. So I'm going to authorize the app. And I have just connected my Twitter account. As easy as that. And now when I go through my website and say I want to add social media links anywhere in the site, or if the theme has anything built in, like here we have in 5, you just saw this Twitter icon popped up here. All of that basically is all automatically connected to my Twitter account now, just from that simple Connect Account integration. And again, I can go back and do that for Facebook, Google+, however many social accounts that I want to do. You can do that with Instagram as well, and a few of these, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and a handful of these even have little apps that are kind of built into Squarespace, which I'll demonstrate later. But some really cool features on how you can actually kind of use these social media integrations and how you just connect them, and then basically you get these apps and you can make little kind of widgets on your site. So that is the Connected Accounts part of social. And next we're going to go down here to the Share buttons. So on a lot of the templates, and especially with blogging, you have these kind of share buttons that, if someone reads a blog post or they're on a page they like, you can kind of add these little share buttons, and then it'll basically share that post automatically to these different accounts. And so basically here you can say, okay, here's all the things that I want them to be able to share to do. Well, maybe I like Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, but I don't really care about the StumbleUpon or the Pinterest market or Tumblr. That's just not really my thing. Or maybe it is, and you can just leave these on. Oh. And then when you actually do it again, it's going to activate. So, but yeah, basically you can choose kind of which social networks you want to share to, so that way you don't overcloud your entire kind of website with too many share buttons where it's just ugly and overwhelming. You can kind of choose whichever ones you like. And there's this other very cool one, which is a Pinterest Pin It button. And if you enable this, you can basically enable it for blogs or for blogs and pages. And what this is going to do is basically have a little overlay on your website that will basically allow anyone to kind of pin any of your images or your blog posts or different pages. So it's a very cool little feature. Here's an example of what it'll look like. Say you have this picture and someone can come up here and pin it. Let's see, haven't saved yet, so it hasn't quite integrated. But you can choose again small or large. You can choose a shape, rectangle, or circle for the Pinterest logo. And you can kind of just come down here and mess with the settings. Again, change all this kind of stuff. But this is really, really handy, especially for, say, if your market is on Pinterest, the kind of people that you're wanting to get in front of. It's a super, super handy feature. Very cool to have. It allows really a lot more kind of immediate social interaction built in automatically right there through your sites. And you don't have to do any custom coding. All you do is just add this little Pinterest pin it button option. But for now, I am going to leave that off and hit disable. And we're going to come back and we're going to save. Then we're going to come back to social. Now I'm going to show you the final section here on social, but I actually hopped over to my personal account to kind of show you this one because it'll be a little easier to demonstrate. But if I come over again to social and I click down here on Facebook page, what you're going to see is that I can actually turn my Facebook page, or turn a single page on my website into a Facebook page and make it a tab on my Facebook page. So it's very, very cool. So what I've done is basically choose, I have all these different Facebook pages that I manage for myself and clients. And I'm going to basically choose to link this to my personal Facebook page. And again, for any of this to work, you need to first link your Facebook page to, or your Facebook account to Squarespace. And then what I can do is I can come on here and I can install a gallery tab if I want to, and have maybe a portfolio or a gallery of my work. And then I can also have a Squarespace page tab. And what you can do is if you click on this, it's literally going to show me all of the pages on my website, which I've got quite a few. But I have this Jake Jorgensen's email list sign up. And then I can actually change the kind of heading on this and set this basic Squarespace page tab. And now what this is going to do, I'm going to hop over to Facebook here and show you, is that if I'm on here on my Facebook fan page, again, this is on a fan page, not my personal profile page, I have all these different options up here for timeline, about, photos. And now I have this little option for sign up for Jake's email newsletter. And this is super cool because if someone just clicks on this, they literally see the exact Squarespace page that I built on my site. So this is a page on my website that has now just basically been built right here that has just kind of been built right now here into my Facebook page. So a super handy feature. You can use this for maybe your portfolio, you can even do it with the home page of your site so it links to other things. For me, I did it for just a simple email newsletter sign up. But it's a super cool feature in a way that you can really customize your Facebook fan page in ways that a lot of other people can't do. So it's something that's pretty cool and unique to Squarespace.